Well, hi everyone. My name is Alyssa Mortel, and I am joined here with a very special guest. Her name is Lara Post, and I told you all that I would have a secret speaker, and I'm so excited to have her. For her own privacy and protection, she is going to stay off screen, but we have a beautiful view of Japan, which is one of her favorite locations. So we're going to just enjoy the Japanese landscape while we hear Laura's gorgeous voice as she guides us through caring for our caregivers in this wonderful topic. Now, I know that during a lot of these master classes and a lot of these, webinars and things like that, everyone's kind of sitting on their edge of their seat going, all right, where's the sales pitch? When's it coming? I'm going to give it to you right now because I like getting it to you straight. And I want to tell you about this amazing offer that I have for not only people with chronic illness, as you know that I work with people with chronic illness, but I also work with caregivers. I have this incredible program that I've put together, and I just added a new product to it. This program is worth about $350, especially with the new planner that I added to it, which is part planner, part journal. And it is going for a very short time now for only $47. It's on the website, ivwarriors.com. As you can see above my head over here, I'm mirrored, so that's funny on the computer, ivwarriors.com. It is the Wellness Starter Pack. You can find that right on the homepage. It's $47. You get a plethora of really big goodies in there. There are three ebooks, oh my goodness, three ebooks, a 2025-2026 planner because we're halfway through the year. Can you guys believe it? I can't. I'm like, when, where, what? How did that just happen? I feel like January took, 9 months and then all of a sudden we're in June. But yeah, you get a planner for half of this year and half of next year, which is awesome. And one of the things that I put in that planner slash journal is one of my favorite features, and that is a rage page, which is a place because we don't always have good days, and that's okay. It's okay to not be okay. And instead of going out and screaming into the void or into your neighbor's lawn where they might be a little curious about what's going on, this is a healthy place for you to kind of get your rage out, as I like to say, which sometimes you're not having a good day and you want to get that out of your head and get it out of your body in a healthy way. Um, so I added a rage page and I hope everyone here is an adult, but a damn it days, because we all have them. And so why not be healthy adults about it and put it in a healthy way? um, which was fun for me to make, to be truly honest. And so for caregivers out there, one of my really good friends who has two children, she goes, I don't know how I can love something so much that makes me just want to lock them out of the room. She finds herself in the bathroom with her two kids and just locking them out. And she goes, I love them, but I want to kill them half the time. And that's true. It's totally true. And that's okay too. Sometimes you gotta just give yourself a break, and that is okay. And we give you permission to do that here. Um, so we're going to get into care for caregivers. We've got a few things we're going to go through. I want to give you kind of a breakdown of the agenda. So that was the sales pitch. It's over. We can all take a deep breath. We're done. But we're going to go through some of the agenda today. Laura, do you want to add anything to the agenda? Do you want to go through it or do you want me to?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. She's here, guys, I promise.
I'm
So
just being quiet and respectful so that you can go over everything. So, yeah.
So what we're going to talk about today is some self-care, which I know is a buzzword, and everyone's like, yeah, self-care. When I hear the word self-care, I always think of like bubble baths and things like that, which are not my jam. Um, I'm just always cold and bored in a bath. I don't, it's just not really for me, but we're going to talk about self-care and what that means on a deeper level, and some good tools and tricks for you. We're going to talk about recognizing when you need some additional help, and that's okay too, and what that means for you. We're gonna talk about what it means to take stock of not only your physical and mental health, but as a caregiver, who you're caring for, your loved one, their physical and mental well-being as well, and what that looks like for them and you. We're going to talk about communication skills and bridging the gap, which is a really big deal because most of the time when especially when you're working with somebody with chronic illness, um, what that gap means and how to talk to them. Sometimes you don't know what to say or how to say it properly, and you get a lot of feedback that's not good. And a lot of times too, you're just not appreciated. And you're just like, can you just say thank you for once? Or can they just not snap at me for once? I don't know what I'm saying. They don't know what to do. Do I say sorry? And it's just a downward spiral and burnout because we all feel it all the time. And I think since COVID, it's just been more and more and more because we don't know what we're doing and how we're handling this new world that we're all facing, and we're facing it together. And that's something that I think we can take a lot of solace in, is that we're all coming back into this world of what's going on at the same time. And I think that's interesting too that we're not talking about it. What do you think, Lara?
It's definitely, well, I mean, it's always been a stigma, especially in this country, of not really focusing on mental health and well-being. There's part of it is previous generation pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, and it really is. If you don't focus on your mental and emotional well-being, it definitely can take a toll.
And when she means this country, she doesn't mean Japan. She means the US, just so everybody knows.
Yes.
Although I think that we're kind of changing that. I think we're going more towards holistic environments. Lara is a millennial as well, so I am as well. We're a little bit of the elder millennial generation, and um, we're changing a lot of that holistic kind of medical care where we're like, I don't want you to just look at my head because I have a headache or my stomach hurts. I want you to look at my whole body. I'm the specialist when it comes to me. So I want you to listen to what I'm saying. And that's kind of a big thing. Well, let's start out on talking about what self-care and refilling your cup means. Now, when I say refilling your cup, I want to share my screen because people hear me say that all the time and they're like, cup, I don't have a cup. What are you talking about? Um,
Yes, the cups. It's
what's the
perfect.
cups? So let me know if you can see my screen.
I can.
Fabulous. Okay, so you can see refilling your cup. What is your cup? So as you can see, there's a water pouring into your cup. So I like to use this analysis of right now I'm at home and in my computer, so I don't really have a desk in front of me with empty cups. But I want you to think of your cup as a full cup of water. So if you've got this full cup of water when you wake up in the morning and you're going to go out into the world and you're going to pour that water out into a ton of different cups, right? So let's think of those cups being, if you're a mom or a dad, your children, right? Then your job, then breakfast, then your shower, then your community, then your, um, let's list them. What's something else? Think of
Bills.
bills. Perfect. Bills. You got your job, you got your partner, you've got
Household.
your household, you've got your pets, you've got all of these things. I'm dusting, I'm cleaning, oh, my car is dirty. I got to clean that out. I've got to clean this. I've got to do this. I've got laundry, the things that are never done, right? I've got all this stuff that I'm pouring my cup into. Well, then that cup that you were pouring out of, starts to look a little empty. And if you're a caregiver, you're pouring that cup into that other person that you love, right? So that cup of yours starting to be not so much water left in it, right? So what tends to happen is that that cup of yours gets really empty and you start running on fumes because there's
Absolutely.
just a little bit of a dribble coming out of that cup because you're pouring everything you have into caring for everybody around you. And then, depending on how you were raised, and this goes for men and women, I'm a woman, so I'm going to speak from my experience, but we were tend to be put into this place of don't be a burden, don't don't speak out of turn, don't, you do this for your family. This is what you were made to do, kind of a thing. And especially I was raised with a religious background, so I was told, you are seen, not heard. You were made to do everything for someone else. Um,
Keep quiet, be sweet.
yeah, be sweet, smile. And that's what you were made to do. And so, and be grateful for it. And it took me a long time to kind of break those stigmas in my mind to not feel guilty or shameful when I was like, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to be happy in that mold. I want to break out of this box. I want to, you know, enjoy doing something for myself. I like having purple hair. It makes me happy. Um,
Well,
I'm
it's not,
old enough to do what I want, I'm an adult. I can have that. I can be happy with that. And it took me a long time to realize that, like that fills my cup. That refills me, that refuels me. Um, Going on a walk in nature, journaling, you know, being with my friends and laughing. Those are things that really refill my cup. What refills your cup, Laura?
oh, definitely video games. And
Yeah.
that's one thing. I struggled with that too, of getting over knowing that I'm allowed to refill my cup. I'm allowed to seek out those things that do refill my cup because it is 100% something that if you just continually put all of your energy and your time and your willpower into the person that you're taking care of, it makes you less capable as a caretaker to be able to take care of them because you're not taking care of yourself.
Exactly, exactly. If your cup is empty, what are you putting in theirs? That's the
Yeah.
question you've got to ask yourself is like, well, the answer is nothing, right? It's nothing.
At that point in time, you're either drowning or you're tearing out pieces of yourself to make it work. And that's one of the things that we definitely need to be aware of taking stock of your mental and physical well-being to make sure that you don't reach that point.
And what a great segue into our next topic. Ah, Laura, you're such a genius. And that is recognizing when you need additional help. And that's like looking at it and saying, you know what? I need to take some time. And whether that be a few hours, a few days, maybe it's that the person you're taking care of is just, it's frankly out of your scope. It's out of your realm to help them. And that's okay. That's not your
Yeah.
fault.
It's
And
okay to recognize if the person that you're taking care of, your loved one, has reached a point where their medical or emotional needs are out of your scope, it's okay to that's the thing. The resources that are out there to help people who are living with chronic pain, or if you have children, or just whoever you're taking care of,
elderly parents. And
absolutely.
really quick, before we go any further, I do want to mention that Laura and myself are not licensed doctors. We
No,
are
we are not.
not, we're not giving any advice here that you need to take them all with a grain of salt. And if you believe that you are in a place that this is triggering, you may end this now. If you believe that there is someone in your life that is in mental crisis, please contact 911 or the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. There is also many resources online that you can please contact, and do not be afraid to do so. Um,
Absolutely.
but moving forward, we will be talking about some medical issues. Again, if this is triggering for anyone, please be aware of that. So uh,
100%.
we want you to let you know right now before we move forward. Um, so trigger warning right now. So thank you. But yeah, when it comes to elderly parents or loved ones, you want to make sure that you do know that things become difficult. I remember when my grandmother was living with us, sorry, my cat, she was, she was 90, 95. She was about to turn 96. And when we were trying to get her into bed and stuff, when we tried to move her, you could only move one limb at a time. Everything else was kind of dead weight, and we needed to hire some some care people to help us move her. And this is funny because it's kind of uncomfortable, but it was a funny story. We the nurses taught us that if you can get her on a sheet, the family can kind of move her a lot easier. Well, we had all been so used to just trying to move one arm or one leg at a time. And again, like it's just dead weight. It's really difficult. Um, there's a window that was directly behind her bed, and my sister and I were on one side of the sheet, and my parents were on the other side. And we kind of go one, two, three, and we were so used to moving just that one arm or one leg, and it was so difficult. We literally almost threw her out the window.
Oh, no.
And
Oh, no.
I bless her heart, she was so funny, and she goes, "What the hell?" Because we were so used
Oh.
to the weight, and then she was like lighter than a feather when all four of us were doing that. It was we laughed now and she was laughing too at the time. She was like, "I flew." But
Oh.
she kind of had fun with it. She's whenever we went to go grab the sheet too, she's like, "Are you guys gonna make me fly?" She had a great sense of humor, but and I miss her so much to this day, but it was it was pretty funny. We were terrified. We really thought she was going out that window, but she really enjoyed it. But yeah, if you find yourself in a place where you have to admit, this is really out of my scope. I need help. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with admitting, hey, I need help. This is not okay. Um,
And it doesn't mean that you're falling short or that you're a failure or anything like that. Absolutely not. In fact, it is something that you are making sure that you are taking care of yourself, taking care of your loved one by utilizing tools and resources to make sure that you both succeed at taking care of one another and each other. So it's definitely not anything to be ashamed of.
No, absolutely not. There is no shame in the caregiving game, and the self-care game. I think that shame
100%.
is something that we all need to start letting go of, because it doesn't get you anywhere. It's not going to give you an extra minute of life. And this life is too short anyway, you know. I really
Absolutely.
truly believe that. And it's something that we need to really start moving away from, especially when it comes to caregivers, because we always feel like, oh, I didn't do that right. I should have done this. I should have done that. Listen, stop shooting all over yourself. Not helpful.
Absolutely not. And also the guilt of if you are taking time for yourself, don't feel guilty. Do not. Make sure that obviously you know, if the person that you're taking care of is um if you leave them in a bathtub and they are a stroke victim, that's obviously something that you should feel guilty about. But
And the
taking
court
some
of law
time
might
to
find me guilty about it
yeah,
too.
but taking time, you know, if the one that you're caring for, the one that you love is in a safe area, just it's okay. It's okay to step away and to focus on you.
And it's important to do that too, because you need to, and again, Laura, good for you, swaying right into our next topic. Um, it's important for you to take a check and stop and say, how is my physical and mental health doing? When was the
100%.
last time you did that? I really want you to stop and think about it. Like, when was the last time I stopped and asked myself, how am I? When, who am I? You know, caregivers, moms out there, I'm really talking to you, especially, yeah, not only, but when was the last time you did that? When you were like, hey, who am I right now? How am I doing? Am I okay physically, mentally?
Emotionally.
Emotionally, where am I at on these scales? And in my program too, I've got all that for you. I did it for you so you can go in there and have those scales for you, those checkups. They're in there in that self-paced program. That's the other, I don't know if I mentioned that that program, the wellness starter pack is self-paced. There's no one, cracking a whip on you. It's self-paced, so you can get in there and say, "Oh, okay, you know what? I haven't checked in on myself in 5 years." Well, where if you haven't done that in 5 years, what's gonna happen to you if you don't start? If you don't change those behaviors? Where are you gonna be in the next 5 years? That's a really important question to ask yourself because your mental, emotional, physical, all this health, wellness stuff, if you don't start making a change, honey, it ain't gonna change.
I feel like you're speaking directly to me. Well, I mean, past me. Yeah,
Well, you
to
read my book, so you kinda got to get
yeah,
some
yes,
change.
I did. Yes, I did. It is a fabulous book. Plug out to your book. It is
Yeah,
fabulous.
thank
Um,
you.
and 100%, if you are in a position where you are taking care of somebody who is has a chronic illness, chronic pain, um, there is a very, very eye-opening exercise that Alyssa puts in there that just it helps uh, gain a little bit into what it's like for somebody who's struggling with something, and I highly, highly recommend it. Um, sorry, that was my. But I mean,
Shameless
I
plug.
shameless plug. However, your book is fantastic, so I had to mention it somewhere. But as far as I because been a caretaker for several different people, and as you were saying that actually about your grandmother, I was like, "Oh, yeah, my great-grandmother." I did I did take care of her for a little bit. So yeah, I guess I have been, a caretaker, and that is why I'm here. Alyssa helped me or, wanted me to help, give a little bit of an insight as far as, from a caretaker's perspective, because I have taken care of a lot of different people in my life and got, a lot of varying, um, interactions from people, and unfortunately, I did not take stock of my own well-being. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, I not just poured out all of my cup, I started smashing it into pieces to give those pieces away. I did not take stock, and I genuinely wish I would have met Alyssa earlier because she would have definitely helped me take a step back and evaluate that I really do need to take care of myself. So that is definitely one. Also, one of the big things that I cannot stress enough is the fact that you need to have that communication to make sure that you also are letting the person that you're taking care of know that you need this too, so that you
Yeah.
can be a better caretaker.
Yeah. It's so important because I think as a caretaker, it takes a lot of maturity too to be able to say, my cup is empty. I need to take care of myself. And it takes a good community of people around you as well. You can't do this alone. There's a reason that's an old, you know, how do you say verbiage, adage, saying what I've never been good with idioms. It's there's a reason it says it takes a village because it does. It truly does. Whether it's raising a child or taking care of somebody that's chronically ill or taking care of an elderly parent or whatever, whoever you're taking care of. Maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's whatever. Maybe it's a sick pet. Who knows? Whatever your loved one is, whomever your loved one is, it does take a village because, you know, you need a break. And that means somebody else has to come in and take that responsibility out of your hands. And that's got to be someone you truly trust, right? And you have to be able to communicate with that person, hey, they're going to be here while I'm away for a little bit. It does nothing to do with you. It's just I have to refill my cup. And they need to understand that that isn't their fault that your cup is empty. You've got other stuff in the realm of the world, right? You've got work and cleaning and, all these other things. Maybe you had a cold. There's things outside of your control, and that's okay. The world is a crazy place right now. There's a lot of uncertainty that causes a lot of stress, and sometimes you just need to take a breather. You need to go on a walk. You need to go out with your girlfriends or your guy friends or whatever. Maybe you need to just take a vacation. Or, whatever that vacation may look like. It could just be going to the nail salon if that's what you're into, or going to the park and reading a book, or watching people watching. I don't know what you're into. It is what it is. Um, but it takes a village and it takes communication skills. Um, and that's not easy. Okay. Having an honest communication with because you don't know what they're going to react to, correct? So
Absolutely.
one of the things that Laura and I talked about, and we asked several of our friends who are part of our community of trusted people, because Lara's been a big caretaker for a long time. And I actually, believe it or not, because you see me here, I'm all happy and I'm full of energy, but I suffer from a multitude of or myriad, not multitude, a myriad of chronic illnesses myself. I sometimes have to be told, hey girl, you are overdoing it. You gotta sit down for a little bit, maybe take a nap. And when my close friends say that to me, I know that they're right. I know that I've got to take a self-check myself and say, ooh, am I overdoing it? Am I pushing myself too hard? But it's taken a long time for me to get to that place. And so I'm going to share my screen again. And this is another lovely little visual representation. Um, so this is what we like to call our communication bridge. Can we see my screen?
Yes.
Wonderful. So caregivers, we are on, or you are on one side of that bridge, right? And your loved one, which would be someone like me who is suffering from maybe a chronic illness or again, like an elderly parent, a partner, uh, a child, someone like that is on the other. And where you want to meet is in the middle. Now, there's a lot of things that could be happening. So Laura, I'd like you to come from the caregiver's side and kind of tell me what kind of things that you would like to be communicated to meet in the middle. Like, what are the kind of things that a caregiver would like to more than not have the loved one hear?
So as far as so I've had like I
And these
said,
are all generalized, everyone.
oh
I don't want
yes.
to say that this is like absolute and 100% all the time.
Yes.
These are very, very general.
Well, if are you comfortable with me sharing of like our interactions that we've had?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm an open
Um
book. You know that.
so yes, Alyssa is a dear friend of mine, and because she has some of the chronic pains that my past person that I had done caregiving for, I wanted to make sure that I was respectful of her needs, her limitations. So that is one thing. Oh, and also, I wanted to make sure that I did not treat her as a victim because Alyssa is a fantastic, strong, independent woman that it just blows my mind to this day every single time. So obviously you're seeing this beautiful woman. She is not a victim, but unfortunately she does have to deal with a lot of crap. So one of the things that I asked her is, what can I do to help? And that is something that you have to have that, how can I help? And also lay out how the loved one, but put your needs as well of, I am taking care of you. This is what I would like in order to make it easier for me to take care of you. Um, but also, especially for somebody, and I understand, parents, if you have young children, you are giving everything into them, and they may not be at an age where they understand the concept of appreciation. But it is something of just, if you're giving so much of yourself, just being like, I do this, and this. I'm what can I do for you? This is what you can do for me. And just having that way of you can meet in the middle of being able to have both of your needs met. Because while this bridge is definitely a wonderful, wonderful analogy of making sure that both sides have their needs met, ultimately you need to come to a consensus that you are in it together and you are facing whatever issue it is together.
And I love that. I love that, Lara, when she told me that, she's like, we're flipping the script, right? We are not against each other. We're against this situation together. So we're fighters in the same team. We're part of a team together and we're fighting this together as opposed to each other. So it's not like this, it's like this. And
Absolutely.
I loved that, and I was like, "That is genius," because so many times caregivers and their loved ones are at each other's throats, right? They're against each other, and it just creates tension when it could be, "No, I'm your sword, you're my shield, and we're gonna go at it like this." And Laura, as she said earlier, we love video games, and so I'm like, "Yeah, girl, I got your back, let's go."
100%.
Yeah, and as someone who, does suffer from a lot of chronic illnesses and, um, there are times when I can barely get out of bed and I need, you know I was at, her house staying and we had a very busy day the day before, and she had to work a double shift the next day, and I just did not want to feel like a burden, but I was like, "Can I stay one more night? I'm so sorry." And she goes, "No, it's no problem." And I just appreciated it so much that I had a safe, comfortable environment to stay in. And for somebody that suffers from chronic illness, the last thing I want to feel is pitied or feel like a burden. Um, and, shame or guilt around that. And I think a lot of people feel that when it comes to chronic illness and when they have something that they can't control or they can't help, the last thing they wanna hear from anyone is, "I'm sorry," because it makes them feel like they need to be the caregiver for something that they can't control, and it's an awful feeling. So, one thing that, Lara and I discussed is she goes, "Okay, so how do I speak to you?" And I told her, I was like, "All I want from you is to, ask me how you can support me and tell me that you love me just for who I am, and, don't make me feel like I'm a burden, or that you need
You
to,
are
that I need to take care of you."
you are definitely not a burden.
And that was where we met in the middle, where she's like, "No, girl, we are fighting this together. We're in it. We're a team." Um, she's like, "But when I see you struggling, I'm gonna tell you it. I'm gonna be for real with you." And I was like, "Cool, cool, let's do it." And so when you come to that conversation to meet in the middle with that loved one of the things that you have to say is we can't come here with ego, with pride, both of us, with blame, no yelling, quiet, 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 and no anger at each other. You can be
Absolutely.
angry. You can be angry at the situation all you want because that's true. I mean, it sucks.
100%. So just don't turn that because especially the loved one that is needing that care. I know that that can start to bring in feelings of resentment that
Mhm.
but not just that the person taking care of them, but also themselves, the frustration of I want to be XYZ and I just can't.
Yes.
And that is okay to have those feelings of anger and frustration, but don't put it at your caretaker because
Mm,
they are in that battle with you and they are just trying to help any way that they can. But sometimes they don't know how to help. And that's one of the reasons why communication is key to let the caretaker know this is what you need from them. And the caretaker will let you know what they need in order to make sure that they refill their cup and they can take care of you what's best. And if you have anger and frustration and resentment, that's where you put it on the rage page. Go
exactly.
put it on a rage page. That is what the rage
And
page is for. Yes, you can be
yes,
angry and frustrated. Put it out there because
put
there
it
are
out
other
there.
people that are struggling with it, and you will be able to find community with that as well. So, yeah.
And what's really truly interesting is, I've over the years I've been talking to so many people all over the world and truly and working with psychiatrists and psychologists and stuff like that. And I always suggest getting professional help, but one of those things that I've noticed and they've noticed is a lot of that anger and that resentment and all that stuff that builds up. What it really truly is just grief. It's just
Yeah.
grief over the past. And it's like, well, I was something and I used to be this. We never were that. It was never, we always look at our past with rose tinted glasses and it's like, I was this perfect thing. You weren't. Okay. It's truly, we weren't. You hated your butt back then, you hate your butt now, okay? It's true. But, in pictures it looked better. But did you really like your butt 10 years ago? You just didn't like it. You didn't like it then, but in pictures it looked better. It's just I'm sorry, but it's true. Um, But what it is it's really grief, and it's grief that is built up over time and time and time. What it happens with a chronic, illnesses especially, um, is it tends to happen quick. You get something that, started out with a little "It's in your stomach" or something like that, and then it's like, "Oh, wait, I'm gonna be this way forever, and you can't help me, and I just need to manage this." There's no magic pill, there's no cure, I'm just this way now, and you're like, "Well, I was better before, I wanna go back. Rewind, now." And it's this grief, and it's this anger, and it's this thing that just boils up, and it creates this monster in our minds that we don't wanna look at. But when you finally do shine like a flashlight on it, it's our inner child that's just scared and in grieving for a big change that happened in our lives without our control. And none of us like to be out of control. We're human. It's just the way that we are. And we don't like forced change upon any of us. Um, but the best thing about that is that, you know, if you look throughout your life and you do kind of a timeline, we've all changed. We all go through cycles and seasons. And that's why, I do offer coaching as well. I know I didn't say I was going to do any more sales pitches. This isn't one. You can actually do a free consultation call with me. Um, and that's my gift to you after finishing this training. Um, 1 hour free consultation call. And we can talk about this where you're like, I did have this big change in my life. And I noticed now that you're bringing it up, I am angry. I am resentful. But maybe you're right. Maybe it is grief. Um, was there ever a time for you, Lara, that you noticed something like that?
Yes, unfortunately, that is one thing that, does, the caretaker definitely grieves with you, and because they are, um, like, just when I was a caretaker for my mother, it was a grief of seeing how she wasn't as strong as she was, of how her health was deteriorating, and it was grief of not being able to do things with her like we used to, and
Mhm.
grief that she would never be as strong as she used to. And it's just as caretakers, we grieve with you, and it's one thing that and it's okay. And there are possibilities, or not possibilities. There are situations where sometimes there is 100% that is been the situation from the get-go for parents who have, uh, had, children that have had, disabilities right from when they were born. It's still just because there hasn't been a change, you're still grieving something that you wish you had, and that's okay to be sad about. But ultimately, it's about finding that support and making sure that you're communicating with each other so that you can grieve together, and that's okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's about finding those people, right? Like I said earlier, it's that village.
100%.
And I think that that's really what it comes down to is once you have those people, the right people around you that can kind of help you guide you through it, it's so much easier. And a lot of people go, "Well, I didn't come from a good upbringing. I didn't find those good people. I was never around those good people." Laura's not showing her face for a reason, guys. And it takes time to find the right people.
100%. I do have some people in my past that don't, they were not, um good people. So anyhow, but the one of the great things about this day and age, with the technology at hand, even though, yes, I am keeping myself anonymous, but One of the great things about technology is that you can find that community even if they're not next door, and that's one of the things that is fantastic, that I absolutely love about your program, Alyssa, is the fact that you can have people who understand, they even if the village is not around you, even if they are in different parts of the world, they're still going to
Yeah.
be there and understand.
Yeah, we're creating a global community, and that's the thing, is this isn't just a it's a movement really, and we're trying to find people that are like-minded, that are going to help each other and build each other up, because we've all been on those groups. I'm not going to legally say the name of the book of the online community that involves faces. Um, But if you join any of those groups on there, you might see how toxic they are because they're free. And, keyboard warriors can go on and just berate you for whatever it is you say. And, because the communities that I have on my website, even though there's a small cost, it keeps everybody safe. And that's what is so important. And we are going to be implementing a give back program within the next year. Which I'm very excited about. I've just been trying to find the right give back program, that's very important to my community and to my heart, um, which I'm pretty excited about. I think I found the right one, but I didn't want to just pick one out of a hat. I wanted to make sure that the people behind it were actually doing what they were saying that they were doing, which, believe it or not, has been more difficult than I thought it would be. Um, but I think I found the right one, and I'm really excited to announce that later this year. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I hope that the caregivers out there have gotten what they were hoping for out of this master class. I know it's more of a talk, but we just hope that we have provided some tools. If there are any questions that come up from this class, that I really hope that you can reach out to us at either Alyssa Mortel at ivwarriors.com or support at ivwarriors.com. I wanted to look up really quickly the National Suicide Hotline for everyone, to make sure that I provided that for us. Laura, do you have any finishing comments?
I will say because as friend of Alyssa, but also the fact that but she really does have a lot of good insight, especially when it comes to people I mean, her book says everything as far as Invisible Warriors, because everybody out there who is struggling with a chronic illness or anything like that, um, just absolutely phenomenal courage, and it's amazing that she put that out there. And well, also the classes that I have listened to previously. I will say, even though this, your class is self-guided, one of the things that I definitely like about it is the fact that um, oh, you had the analogy of a gym membership. The fact that it is something that the fact that you have essentially a coach with it, and
Mm.
a little bit of accountability. And I know that a lot of people will be like, "Oh, accountability. Oh, no, 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 no." But the thing is that this is a good accountability, because it is ultimately it's a wellness class, so it is making sure that you are accountable for taking care of you. And like I said before, I really, really wish, Alyssa, from the bottom of my heart, I wish I would have met you way sooner, because
Aw.
I would have found a lot more. Um, well, you would have pretty much metaphorically slapped me upside the head and been like, "Okay, you need to take care of yourself," instead of um, what what I was doing, which was not taking care of myself. So cannot say enough good things about the fact that you genuinely you really care. So
I do care. It's
yeah.
this has been my I'm trying to stay in alignment with my assignment, as I like to say. I got that from, if anyone knows who Jamie Karen Lima is, she's the inventor of It Cosmetics, and now she is the CEO of L'Oreal. That's her saying, so I stole it from her, but um, my goal is to kind of end isolation for caregivers and for those suffering with chronic illness by creating this online community where we can all feel safe together. And I'm doing that through my book. And my second book that I co-authored is coming out next week, which I'm very, very
Yay!
excited about. And then my book myself will be coming out next year. But if you have not purchased the first book, it is called Invisible Warriors: Living Strong with a Better Understanding of Chronic Illness. You can purchase it on my website, V as in victory, warriors.com, which I'm sure you know, and or on Amazon. The National Suicide or Life Crisis, I can talk, hotline. It looks like you just call 988, which is great. If you or a loved one is in crisis, please do reach out. Help is always available 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So that is for the United States. Um, please don't hesitate. It is well worth it. Saving a life or helping a life is always worth your time. We live in a crazy world, and I always like to say be kind because it doesn't cost anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we want to thank everyone for joining us today, and we hope that you've gotten something out of this little masterclass of ours. If you have, please leave a comment or email us at, again, Alyssa Mortel at IV Warriors or support at ivwarriors.com. And I'd love to hear from you. Also, as a free gift to you, you are more than welcome to book a 60-minute call with me on the website. You'll find it in on the homepage or in pricings and plans. So book that call. Can't wait to talk to you. Thank you so much. Laura, do you have anything else to say?
Just um, be kind, hug yourself, and take a moment to breathe today.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. Bye bye now.
Thank you.